Some managers are wary of mixing their data and their gut feelings because it involves using both numbers and real conversations, all to understand what is happening in their team, in their project. And instead of choosing between dashboards or dialogue, they actually can combine them so that their decisions are grounded in facts and human experience. Why does this matter for you as a manager? Well, metrics will show you what is happening. Conversations will show you why is that happening. When you combine them, you stop guessing and you start diagnosing problems with clarity. This approach turns you in a better manager with a practical leadership tool.
Welcome to Advanced Quality Programs with Juan Navarro. In this podcast, we're going to dive deep into the world of quality and leadership philosophies that drive successful businesses and great leaders to actually apply them to your everyday life. So if you're ready to improve your life, one quality principle at a time, let's get started.
Let's start our conversation today with one common issue, a drop in the productivity. The data will tell you that your output is falling and the deadlines are slipping away. That is the quantitative part of the story. But those numbers alone do not explain what is happening. To understand the story behind the trend, you must talk to your team through one-on-ones, group discussions, getting feedback from them. And then you have the qualitative side of the story. Once you combine both, the situation becomes something clearer. You might discover that there's disengagement from people in the staff, among people in the staff, confusion that is caused by new processes, or there's a decline in the motivation. The real issue only becomes visible when you use both types of information and you start considering them together. So you can start by using triangulation in your business setting. Triangulation means looking at the same issue from several angles: data, observations, direct feedback. When these sources point at the same conclusion, you can act with confidence and say, I knew it. But when they don't, the mismatch will serve you as an alarm, as a valuable signal that tells you something deeper needs your attention. And that's the mindset shift for you as a leader. Managers often fall into two camps: those who trust the data above everything else, and those who rely on intuition and experience. Mixing methods is a thinking that rejects that division. It encourages the leader to use the data for direction and people context for valuable insights. Strong leadership requires both. And when you use this approach, it becomes useful to take decisions when metrics are raising questions that you cannot answer with the numbers alone, when you want to understand the reasons behind those behaviors, when you are implementing a change and you need to measure the results and understand the human reactions, and when you are improving the system, the process, or the performance tools, and you need more information that shows you the trends and explain what's happening behind. Overall, you can use this approach anytime a problem feels complex and unclear, and you need to combine the data with the insight that is coming from the experience, and that gives you a strategic advantage. There are three practical ways to apply this mixing method theory. The first one is using the data first. Start with numbers like sales, productivity, customer ratings, and then you use the conversations to explain those unexpected patterns. This works well when your metrics surprise you. Then you can use the people first. You begin or you start by listening through interviews, in meetings, team discussions, informal check-ins. Then you use your data to test what you just learned. Scale it. This is ideal when you are exploring something new, introduction of new processes, emerging issues. Running both simultaneously needs more experience. You collect quantitative and qualitative information at the same time, and you track your performance while gathering feedback. For experienced managers, this approach gives real-time, multi-layer view through that information that is generating the whole time. It requires a skill if the two sources do not align, but the alternative is to blend that approach. If you are new using both methods, you use one main method normally, and you add a smaller complementary one little by little. For example, include open-ended questions in a survey to add depth to your metrics. This keeps you connected to both the performance and the experience. How would you choose the right approach? Well, start with your goal. Are you trying to solve a problem, understand the trend, or test a new strategy? You can consider your timeline, your resources, the comfort level with both the data and the conversation. For new managers, keeping this approach simple and consistent is often the best path. Combining data and human insights will help you to avoid blind spots. Metrics will become more meaningful because you understand the story behind, and the feedback becomes more actionable because you can link it to a measurable outcome. You gain a fuller picture of your team, how they are performing and how they are feeling, which is their real improvement. Keep in mind that this approach requires effort. You need to be comfortable working with both the data and the people. It can take time, especially if you are new at this. If you collect information in stages, or you occasionally use the numbers and the feedback, sometimes you need to get familiar with it and it will not match. That is not a failure, that is not a problem. It is a sign that an important issue needs a closer attention from you as a manager, as a leader, and you have to get familiar with it. The bottom line is improving performance isn't about choosing between the numbers and the conversation. It is about using both deliberately and thoughtfully. When you combine what people do with their experience, and then you move that from the surface level management to explain the metrics, you get a genuine understanding. That is how better decisions and stronger teams are made. And that's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to subscribe for further leadership insights. I will appreciate all your positive reviews of my books, Life Quality Projects, Principles of Quality, and the Quality Mindset. Stay excellent, keep improving, and what about mixing both?
One small change triggers everything. Watch how agile thinking works. Inspect, adapt, repeat. Each step builds the next, creating confident, unstoppable momentum. This is the Quality Mindset by Juan Navarro. Get your copy now.